What's going on, Silver Squad? Welcome back to the Silver Site. I'm RJ.
I'm Gerald. G saw that.
I'm Jay Harrison. I just got back from a long walk.
Okay. And I'm
10 out
Desiree.
of 10.
Yeah, that was good.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And today we are going to be doing a spoiler review of The Long Walk, which is based off the Stephen King novel of the same name. So if you have not seen The Long Walk yet, please go take a long walk, possibly around the park, until you see this movie because we will be spoiling everything. We're not going to hold back. We're going to be talking about deaths, plot, the ending, all of that. So if you have not seen it, I urge you, please take a walk, go see it, come on back. Yeah, so overall thoughts on this movie. We'll start with Gerald. And before you go, you can give us like the kind of differences between the books and the movie as well.
Okay. So just to preface this, I will say I did have to take a little time to process it because I had a lot of thoughts and feelings about it because I was actually in the middle of the book as well. So upon finishing it, I kind of processed some things. Um, Overall, I liked it. Um, I'll be honest. While I was in there, I was a little bit deflated because I felt like my expectations were kind of thwarted a little bit because um, it was just different than what I thought I was going to see. But I definitely tell you, it was a lot more emotional than I thought. I will not confirm or deny that some tissue was used. Um, I'll throw that out there. Um, but there was some interesting things that happened. So funny enough, I don't know if y'all know this or not. This was actually Stephen King's first book, very first book.
No.
Yeah, I
Um,
did read that.
so there were some interesting things that they decided that, and I honestly feel like it would have probably made it a lot better film if they'd have stuck a little bit closer to the source material. Um, so when it comes to like uh, the premise of it, the book it was 100 people, not 50. So I thought that that would have made it better during the hill scene because then you could have justified being down to a smaller amount.
Yeah.
Um, so also the miles per hour instead of three, it was instead of four in the book, it was three in the movie.
Okay.
And that was actually now I don't know why, but that was actually suggested by Stephen King that they should lower it because I guess that would make it more realistic. Um,
Because
Also,
I did, not to interrupt you,
uh-huh,
but I did read where he said something along the lines of this was before like Apple Watches and like technology. And so, like you said, it just makes it more attainable and realistic that they could keep the speed and hold a conversation. It's easier to talk at 3 miles an hour as opposed to the four or whatever it was in the book. Because it's hard to kind of talk when you're constantly whatever. So that's kind of why they made that adjustment.
okay. And then what else we have? So when they're talking about Garrity's motivation, the whole thing, he didn't even know what happened to his father in the book. He
Mhm.
That wasn't even a thing. So he wasn't like motivated by revenge. It was just money and trying to get the money. Um, Again, like I said, he didn't know anything. He didn't know what actually happened to his father, why his father was dead, and any of that
Yeah.
stuff. Uh, and then they just, and I'm sure this was a choice, but I thought that was interesting that they made his mom's presence in the movie more prevalent. She wasn't that prevalent in the book. He actually had his girlfriend in the book, and his girlfriend's the one who actually met him on the side of the road or saw him on the
Right.
side of the road. So, and also, of course, there was more people throughout the film actually during the walk, as opposed to like just random people just sitting on porches and
Yeah.
it was more fanfare, I guess, the way they kind of did that piece.
So closer to like a spectacle, whereas like
Correct.
in this
Yes.
one, yeah, they said
Well,
verbatim they're not
well,
allowed to
because
watch.
because one of the things it was funny. They had a scene where one of the guys had to relieve himself, and the kid they was collecting it as souvenirs. They
What?
were like, yes, they
What
were
is wrong with
collecting
Stephen
it.
King, bro?
They were
Like,
collecting it as souvenirs to like commemorate the fact that they were there. And
No.
it's crazy. And like it was funny because of one of the parts that actually the kid was like, "Look, mom, he's pooing." Like,
collecting somebody's doodoo
I,
is wild.
yeah, they're bagging it up and keeping it. Like,
Not
look, I
bad.
got one.
No, bro,
I
no.
kid you not. Yes.
That's foul.
I
Souvenir doodoo is insane.
So the book is neat because, of course, for imagery, he has to like, even when somebody's having a conversation, they still have to, if they're making it for you to see what's going on, they have to like say something else is happening. So imagine somebody's having a conversation, then they say, "Oh," and like they also hear somebody get. He said so in the book, instead of saying getting your ticket punched, I think it said something about like a golly, what did it say? Ordered their ticket or something like that.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't as if it was a little bit different in the terminology, the way they said. He said, "Get your ticket punched." You
Okay.
know,
So it sounds like they did some differences that could have definitely made, the movie a little, I guess, more appealing. But for me, I don't know. I still think that they did a good job. I
no,
haven't
I'm
made.
not definitely not saying that they didn't. I
Yeah.
just feel like if they would have maybe had some more of these different, because they completely changed the ending. The
Yeah.
ending
Yeah.
is way different. The ending
Right.
is way different than the real thing. And there was a piece in there about this ominous figure that they would see,
Hmm.
that was like a hallucination,
Yeah.
and they didn't like. They could have added that because, and then in the book
Yeah.
also, um, so that I don't completely spoil it until we spoil it.
Hmm.
The person actually kept walking
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
book when it
Yeah.
ended. So it was this one was a little different. So there was a quite a few things that I was like hoping I would see the way they did it, because they added a couple pieces in there about the deals that they made,
Yeah.
but it was kind of
Okay.
you know they, they
Hmm.
they kept it similar, but I
But
think the
yeah.
drastic differences to me really stood out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Desiree, what did you think of it?
I loved it. I think that this is good enough to receive an Oscar, honestly, for the performances, the cinematography, the story alone, the characters. I love this. I think it's easily one of my favorite films of the year.
Okay. Hero Harrison, Jay, what'd you think, bro?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it really just was different, something that Hollywood has not shown us for a while. And this is something that I think that was very captivating in many ways. Um, I really liked the journey. I think the most. I think is what made me like stay into this movie, because I haven't read the book and I really want to. But
Yeah.
um, I would have to give it like a high 8.7, because there's really some Oscar worthy people in this movie that
Yeah.
deserve credit.
Material. Yeah. Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree. And I love that you said we haven't gotten this in a while. I feel like this was sort of like the YA vibe that we haven't really gotten since the Hunger Games era. And
Hmm.
for me, the camaraderie that we, got to kind of see, unfold between the fellas reminded me of the first Maze Runner movie, to where they knew they were all in this together. And
Mm,
so for me, that's kind of what pulled me in initially, is when I started to see, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm very competitive. And so I looked at it. That's why I didn't like it at first. I must have didn't like it. That's why I thought it was just okay at first, because I look at it through the lens of like, why are y'all helping each other? And so for me, I would have been pushing people off the path. Immediate win, no
Jesus.
brainer. As you guys know, in the zombie apocalypse, do not trust me. If
Oh
we're
yeah.
doing a long walk, do not trust me. I can only do 3 miles before my asthma kicks in. And so therefore I have to take you guys out before the third mile. And so for me, I was looking at it through a lens of, yo, it's a little too happy go lucky for me. But once I marinated on, like you guys said, the journey of
Mhm.
like them bonding and going through this together, it really helped me see what it really helped me see the strong suits of this movie.
I think speaking of that camaraderie, I cannot say it. I'm sorry.
Marie.
Camaraderie.
Camaraderie that you were talking
Yeah.
about. In a lot of ways, it was kind of reminiscent of sort of the relationships that you saw in Remember the Titans, in a way. That
Mm.
sort of hating each other in the beginning, seeing each other as competition, but then there was brotherhood in the end. That's
Yeah.
what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I like that,
Absolutely.
because I think what's important to that, that's how just things start off, especially in I think that's a good comparison too. Actually, now I'm thinking about it even more, because of how these these boys were put in this setting, and they're away from home, they're away from parents. They're actually out doing their thing, and they're actually getting themselves to become men, is what they were saying in the movie. because Mark Hamill, I think, was like one of the standpoints in that movie that really said that, hey, this is what we expect out of you. This is what the world has to be like, because like how many people do this? Not that many. You can't find this anywhere else. So I think that this is a place where the boys had to figure out, like, how can we overcome this? And like, all you have at the end of the day, because they saw the 18-year-old shot, that the youngest one, just die like that. So it's like now it's like we really got to just like get it together. And I feel like the brotherhood kind of formed through each sequence. They got longer. They just started to come closer.
You know something embarrassing? I had no idea that was Mark Hamill. I had no idea. Like I just was la 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 watching the movie. I had no idea.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So
If
thanks
you
for that.
recall,
Yeah.
so funny enough, if you recall, I think when we were just randomly chatting, I was like, I thought he was not with us anymore. Like I had no
Oh.
idea he was in. Like during
You
the
thought he
they were
was
doing like
gone?
I
Oh.
yeah, like I was like, the heck is he? How did we get him? And but not in the movie. I didn't realize it in the film. But I'm talking about during when they were doing the pressers
Yeah.
and stuff for it. And I was just like,
Yeah.
how did he get? Did they?
Joe was like,
So,
was this filmed while he was alive?
right. I was like, okay, but I thought it was. I definitely can, I can go with the whole idea of the camaraderie. I think where I struggled initially was the fact that um, everybody was so far from the idea of making it a competition. It just felt weird. Like they were saying like how much stamina they had, and when they initially asked me how much do you weigh and all this and all that, but I didn't really. I just thought that's more gamesmanship.
Mhm.
But then once they started moving, immediately it turned into like, hey, you might want to do this. So they telling them different things like, bro, you ate all your food that fast? Well, here, I got you. Like, and I was like,
Wouldn't have been
what?
me.
What is that? What?
Would not have been me.
I like that slow burn because I feel like that slow burn too. Because I feel like it. I mean, obviously, they develop slowly throughout the movie, but that's that connection part that I really like, as you were mentioning. Because at first it's like, yeah, it's like, what are we doing this for? It's like, we're not taking this seriously. It is a game, and then next thing you know, it's like things start to get serious, and then they have to build each other up. Because I think that Des and I talked about this offline. David Johnson's character, he really built everyone up and try to keep him up as long as he could until they just gave out.
Yeah. Psychologically, when you're put in a
Maybe for
situation of
himself.
survival and it happens to be competition at the same time, you still have that human element of, yes, this person is my competition, but also I'm scared. That's like underneath. You don't always see it go above the surface. So what do? You get to know your competition. You get to know their weaknesses, their strengths. You ask them questions. You ask them about their stories, and you're walking. That happens to be the competition alone, and so might as well get to know this person. But I guarantee you, they never thought they would, end up being as close as they did, and
Oh,
that's the
definitely not.
frightening part of it. I feel like it
Yeah,
was very realistic in that aspect,
it
and I
was.
like.
It was. I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
One thing that stuck out, it was interesting though, because even with the book, they
Mhm.
never really made it like it was this major divide. I mean, obviously for the imagery pieces, they had to kind of talk noise a little bit and things like that. But um, what I kind of gathered is you were gonna have the person that was gonna just be a total like loner. What was
Mhm.
the blonde dude though? He was wild though. That dude was
Oh
wild.
yeah, played by Charlie Plummer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barkovich or whatever his name.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, he was
Yeah.
he was weird because I I I knew he had some tone to him when it came
Mhm.
to talking
Yep.
to Pete.
Yeah.
Well, really, he had that tone all the way across the board because he was really just I thought just trying to make it obvious that he was there for himself. You
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I think the armor started kind of cracking pretty quick once everybody was like, "Yo, bro, like you literally just cost this kid,"
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't do it
And
on purpose. Like you did.
Like,
exactly. And then knowing what type of person you were dealing with after he started hitting himself. He couldn't hit the
Mm-hmm.
person he wanted to hit, so he was hitting himself. Normally that's associated with a,
Yeah.
sort of mental illness there. So I was like, that's interesting. I love that layer that they added into this story. Because I was telling Jay the other day that I sat next to someone who was kind of like that on the airplane.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
the flight attendant had to ask him twice because he didn't hear it first. Hey, would you like something to drink? And he's like, huh, what? Oh, would you like something to drink? And he's like, oh, Coke. And she's like, okay, thanks. Walks off, and he's just like sitting there like, oh, stupid, stupid.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh God.
And I
So
knew
that's a
exactly
whole other
what I
layer of
was.
like just mental, like of mind thing that you kind of have to deal with a long walk. So not only are you physically dealing with stuff, you also have to think about the mental state of everybody around you. Because more often than not, I think past like day 3 was when we really start to see everybody slowly start to descend into
Yeah.
like mental instability.
Mhm.
And to be honest, that's what took a lot of people out is the constant being awake, which by the way, it didn't dawn on me until like day 3. I'm thinking like, okay, we did a little time jump or whatever. They took a nap. No, I didn't realize until like later on that they're just continuing to go on and on. And so I'm like, okay, they're gonna stop for a bathroom break. And then somebody like doodles on the ground. I'm like, oh, wait. Like,
That caught me by surprise, but I'm like, you know what? That's realistic though, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about y'all. When I go to work out, sometimes you get on that treadmill, you like, let me go to the bathroom first.
yes.
'Cause that walking is gonna.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's wild
You
though. Like when
step.
I saw that,
It's,
that's one of those moments. I think. I mean, Gerald. 'Cause I mean, I think if I read the book, I'd probably feel exactly how you're feeling
Yeah.
about
yeah.
each scene and like how like these things are, driven to purposely make you feel a certain way and like
Mm-hmm.
show everything. Because I personally did feel like there are going to be more people in the movie, but it's not just about him taking a shit. I think it's about also him having this opportunity to realize that like you're not this isn't a game, like you guys
Yeah.
can't
Right.
stop, like
You
you got to
shouldn't have
keep
forced.
going.
Definitely got a game. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and what scares me too is like I used to play basketball and stuff, is that like I knew someone was gonna roll their damn ankle, and
Oh,
I hate that for people because it's like there's absolutely nothing that you can do after that. What are
yeah.
you
Nope.
gonna do? Find some crutches to stick on the ground and keep going? No.
I felt bad. I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Seeing that young man walking his ankle like that, I'm like, he's not
Woo.
gonna make it. There's no way. Oh, I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine.
How long do you guys think you would last? Realistically, like if we had to do it right now,
Mm.
how long do you think you could last?
One day.
What? Um,
One day.
Probably two, maybe two, but
I think I could go the distance, 3 to 4, if I don't roll my ankle.
I don't even give myself a day to be honest with you. I don't think that I want to do more than that. Like if I
I'm
was
not
forced,
walking next to you. You gonna no.
like if I can't take y'all out within the first like 8 hours, that's it. Y'all just go ahead. I don't want to do that no more. Like three
Oh my
miles around
god.
here, because around my neighborhood, exactly from my mailbox to my mailbox, making a circle is exactly 1 mile. At the
Mm.
third mile is when I start like my legs start cramping. I start shaking. Like I can't do it. I lift all day, but cardio is not my strong suit. I don't think I will
Yeah.
make it very long.
see,
Mm.
that's my strong suit too, and
Yeah.
I still feel like I could go long, but at the same time, my body, anything can happen with my body. I could get dehydrated,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie horse,
Mhm.
I throw up.
I feel
So,
like diarrhea would take me out. Honestly, like
Oh
I would
yeah.
get
That's
diarrhea.
gonna make you.
That's or I
See,
know
I'm a
myself. I get nervous so easily, and I feel
Yeah,
like I would have diarrhea as soon as they shot the gun in the air to start, and then that would be it.
I could see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's understandable.
see.
immediately.
You'd have to make a real tough choice. Do I feel like dropping trial, or do I just go
Mm.
and keep walking? Because you have to decide at that point. You have to see what makes sense. Now, obviously, ain't nobody trying to walk around with poop in their pants or in their shoe because
Yeah,
they got on pants. However, you have to weigh the fact that you have to earn an hour of walk time to get that warning off.
Hmm.
You know,
Mm.
so if you get one or two, that means you got to walk 2 hours without any mess up. You know,
Oh
and
nah.
if you get to that third, you're literally on thin ice because anything happen, it's done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, because I think they don't do the 10-second countdown once you get to the third one. So
No.
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm. I don't think anything
so
would have. What I think it taught us too is that nothing would have prepared you for this. You know,
no,
Yeah.
everybody thought they
Yeah.
were prepared.
Yeah.
But oh, I forgot his name.
The Asian dude.
Yes.
oh
His name is I have it pulled up right here. Hank.
Hank,
Hank. Yeah. What was interesting about his character is he thought he was ready,
Yeah.
just like everyone else, but he was so certain until he wasn't.
Yeah.
He started talking less. His energy was going down, and it
you
felt
ate
like
all this damn food.
yeah, he did. He did. But
Badass.
he
I
was
was
like,
so
I've done.
hungry. I was like, what?
Yeah. He read the rule book from front to back, and he's like, by the end, he's like, I've done it all wrong. I did this all wrong. I had it wrong. That kind of
That
broke
was
me.
sad. That
Yeah,
was
that
sad.
It
broke me.
was. And see, but I think Des brought up a good point though, because like no matter how much, like you said, you prepare, this is a journey that you just don't. It's really unpredictable. And I don't know if it happened in the book, Gerald. Is there like a point where they get like someone gets attacked by like an animal or something, like when they're on the side of the road? Or am I wrong about that?
Oh,
I
that'd be
I
interesting.
don't remember that happening.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
but because it wasn't a lot of like different things outside of just the walk itself. I'm trying to remember, because I don't remember anything like that sticking out to me.
Hmm.
Um, but that also been something I might have just missed.
That'd
Okay.
be interesting. I would think it would be highly unlikely since there's a group of people. Most animals
Oh
don't
yeah.
tend to attack if
Yeah.
there's a lot of people. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's sort
Yeah.
of
And I
guess.
was and I was just asking that because yeah, basically I just I'm saying that because anything can happen
That's true.
besides you even preparing. So I don't know why I thought I saw someone talk about that about the book, but
Hmm.
yeah, I just made that up.
No,
Maybe.
that it could have been. It might have just been something I missed. I'm be
Yeah.
honest with you. I don't
One
remember.
one thing I
Um,
feel like that for me, and like I said, y'all know I'm a competitor, but I feel like it took a little bit too long for them to be like, hey, like from here on out, we don't help anybody. I too more often than not, I found them like being too encouraging when someone like that wasn't in their five was gonna fall. And I feel
Mhm.
like I get it. We in the same line, like, yeah, we help each other out. But like a motherfucker 3 lines behind you, why do you care?
You know what? It's projection. They're telling themselves that, yeah, they may, tell someone
Mm,
else keep going, but they're telling themselves. They don't want to see themselves back there with that dude that's dragging his ankle, but they know
mm,
it could easily be them. That's
yeah,
projection.
yeah,
It could easily be one of them. And plus they're young too. I think when you're that young, um, you tend to care more
yeah,
versus actual adults who are kind of like, I'm gonna get mine. I ain't worried about nobody else. They don't have that experience just
yeah.
yet.
The world has definitely hardened my ass because I, I'm not doing it.
Because at 18, you're still, you're still wanting to do the right thing. You're still kind of in that, caring of everyone else. And yeah, to tell someone else to keep going is to tell yourself to keep going in that circumstance.
And that's fair. I feel like that could be a reason why they did it. Um, I also really enjoyed, you know, the little comedic parts in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Talking about his mama.
yeah, it did such a better job of integrating and like lightly weaving in comedic elements than Weapons did. Weapons, it
Yeah.
seemed kind of, I don't know. I enjoy the comedy in Weapons, but
Mhm.
I feel like it was kind of ill placed in moments where you weren't expecting it. But with the
Yeah.
long walk, it made sense that these goofy, for lack of a better word, they're 18 and stuff,
Mhm.
kids would, be able to kind of make light of the situation in the beginning. So that's one thing that I did enjoy about the movie. I did find myself kind of like smiling at like the joke in between the guys or whatever. It was genuinely, funny at
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah. This is well done. I hope David Johnson is a standout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This He impressed me in Romulus, the HBO show that he was recently in as well, The Industry.
Or Alien Romulus.
Yeah, Alien
Yeah,
Romulus.
I'll add that to the list. For
RJ, you haven't.
he did
Romulus.
outstanding. He did outstanding in Romulus.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Andy. Oh
Yeah,
my
he did
gosh.
outstanding.
Mhm. Yeah, he's.
I
I think
still hate that they made him do that quote at the end though. That was stupid.
Oh, from was it a nod
The
from?
original, yeah. I didn't. I
Get
was
away
like,
from
he wouldn't have said
I
that.
like that. No,
her.
I love that. I love that part. I thought that was the best line.
Yeah, because they did
Because
that.
he was so compassionate the whole movie. Like that didn't even fit his character. I was like, where did he get that from?
I think that was the best part too, because he was like that, and then just so nonchalant. You didn't expect him to say it, and then he just said it. And
It's
He couldn't
hilarious
have
because they've
believed,
done that
even if
in
he was a
other
person,
TV
he wouldn't have
shows
believed
too.
that for real.
They've done it in other TV shows too. That part alone. So I just kind of
Oh my God.
I loved it.
Yeah, I
But
gotta watch that.
yeah.
So it sounds like he's just all around, he's that guy, acting wise. Like,
oh yeah,
Oh man, I think he's
Yeah.
up there with Denzel. Honestly,
Him and dude both, they played off each other well.
Yeah, they like, and
What's
it helps
that?
to like each other in the first place, and
Yeah.
that's what
I
when I
forgot
saw
his.
the interview.
Cooper
Yeah,
Hoffman.
Yeah,
there
Cooper
we go.
Hoffman.
The dude
Yeah,
that
when I
played
saw the
Garrity.
interview,
Yeah,
um, he was like, it helps to like the person, and I genuinely like David, and I was like, see, there you go.
yeah.
It shows the chemistry.
I because like
chemistry, yeah.
every interaction that they had when it came to just even as the story kept unfolding, it felt genuine for them. Some of the
Yeah.
other conversations to me looked a little forced, but I think that was because I think since they were so locked in, every
Mhm.
time other people would kind of get in, it would look like, oh, we got to add some camera time to these guys, so it don't look like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just them two. Because I kept finding myself later. I was like, okay, how many people are left? So I was trying to see how many people they were showing the background and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And I kept saying
Yeah.
the framing of the shots kept throwing me off because I was like, how far have they drifted back? Because I don't see anybody behind me except a tank or a truck,
Mhm.
or the truck or whatever. And so,
I think that was done on purpose though, so that way you can kind of like be disoriented, sort of like
Yeah,
how the actual
and
characters
that's what
were.
I felt.
Yeah,
I
which was
felt it too.
good. And I
So I was
like
like,
that.
okay, how many
See,
people are left?
they thought of everything. That's what I like about this movie.
Yes.
They
yeah.
thought of
There were
everything.
hardly any cuts too, by the way.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
walking 14
Yeah.
miles every day,
Yeah,
Yeah.
filming. There were hardly any cuts. And for David to have all these monologues,
Mm.
just imagine having to memorize your monologue, having to stay in character and in the circumstance, and then know the goal of your character while walking and being tired and hot and sick. And I just couldn't imagine, and try not to be the one actor to mess everything up. So we have to go back.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you imagine like the longest stretch and then you mess up the line like, all right, cut. Back to back to
Mhm.
one.
Man.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I couldn't do
So,
Now, being number one on the call sheet and number two, they can kind of get away with that.
Yeah.
Everybody else, though, you have to know your lines.
Oh hell no.
You
Yeah.
have to.
I
Yeah, I
don't know.
felt that pressure before. So,
Yeah.
being on set with the star, let the star mess up.
Yeah.
You mess up.
You can't mess up.
yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have your replacement ready.
right. It's like, listen, this is your
Wait to
last
win.
time.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
like, RJ, can we see you for a minute over here? I'm like, okay, grab your bag.
And you
Grab
hear,
your backpack.
and then you hear, and then you hear
Yes.
action, and you like, wait,
Right.
no, we're taking you to your trailer. You already packed
Oh
up.
man, and
Yeah,
that's
Your
why
Uber's
grab your
ready.
charger. Yeah, all that.
Your
every
Uber's
time I
ready.
was on set, I made damn sure that I ate them lines for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I was not going to mess up this opportunity. Luckily, it has not
Everybody
happened.
did good. Everybody did so good. There wasn't one person where I was like, oh, he can't act. Like everybody did good.
Mhm.
Them accents
Absolutely.
got a little tricky for a second.
Who?
The accents got a little tricky for a second. Of
Oh, okay.
Southern
I will give you
accents.
that.
I will. Yeah.
It was one time. Pete, I guess British accent kind of came out a
I
little
did
bit
kind of
when
catch
he
Yeah.
that.
yelled.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, sir.
But
I
you know,
don't
it's funny you say that,
believe
Phil. You
that's
have to
the
really look
accent
him up
that you.
after. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember seeing
Yes.
that talking about. That's what made me look him up after because I was like, oh, he's British.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
And
British.
because I heard it, I was like, wait a minute. Uh, and that might have been one of those things. They was like, listen, we ain't cutting it out. Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah,
He wants
because
to
he's just
do it
that good.
over
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody's gonna notice, and here we are on a YouTube channel noticing. Like,
Yeah.
cool.
And actually, I don't even think I noticed because I think I was just too zoned in.
I'm
to what they
gonna
were
tell
doing.
you who was really locked in though was the one dark skinned guy, Arthur.
Oh, Arthur,
Oh
yeah,
my
Arthur was
goodness.
nice.
Yeah,
He was my
Because
favorite. He was my
I was
favorite.
waiting on some like Nigerian theme to drop or something. I was like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
gonna happen here?
such an incredible actor.
He had a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff to say that a couple times I was like, okay, is he struggling to keep those words boxed in, like with that accent that they want him using? Because I think they said he said he was from Louisiana in there or
Yeah, he's
something,
supposed
if I'm
to be
not
from
mistaken.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
So it was a little tough trying to stick
Hmm.
with some things he was saying. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
something I bet him and the dialect coach was like working
Oh, I
hard.
was listening for it because on my dad's side, they're all
Mhm.
Louisiana Creole and whatnot. So I'm like,
Oh,
okay, Baton
yeah.
Rouge, let's see what you got.
Yeah,
But I
he's
think
a
that they
fantastic actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and they all, like I said, they all really did play well off of each other. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
that a lot of a lot of their downtime, they just probably just kicked it and
Oh
really
Yeah.
yeah.
tried to lock into the idea
Mhm.
of having some real. I mean, obviously, they're having a real
Camaraderie.
strong conversation during this
Yeah.
filming, but I bet they spent a lot of time just relaxing and laughing
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
having a good
You
time.
know,
And I
so,
love the way it ended. I love how they
Me
changed
too.
the ending from the book. I wouldn't have wanted it
Yep.
to end any other way. I'm sorry.
So it was so drastically different though because of I guess because of the way they painted the story with
Hmm.
Garrity and what happened to his dad, which I thought was pretty heartbreaking the way that
Yeah.
even showed
Oh
itself.
yeah.
But even still to have so in the book, if for people who don't know, in the book,
Hmm.
um, Garrity actually
Right.
uh, wins, but um, what's his name? The strong kid, Stibbins, the one
yeah.
who ended up
Oh,
getting the cough in the
Hmm.
movie. So all of a sudden, the major was his father.
His bastard son. Yeah.
In the book, that wasn't the case,
Mhm.
Oh,
but also, Pete sacrificed himself, kind of like he almost did in the movie.
I'm
But
shit.
glad
he
it
ends
didn't
up,
go that way.
but it was still with Stibbins
I would have been
and
so
Garrity at
aggravated.
the end. Stibbins just dropped dead in the book.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
just dropped
oh,
dead. He just
Okay.
died because he all the stuff he was saying pretty much is what happened to him in the book. He just
Hmm.
actually just dropped dead. So by
mm,
default, technically, Garrity won,
Hmm.
but they both started hallucinating this
Yeah.
Right.
entity,
That dark
and
figure.
basically we think like the shadow of death in a
Mhm.
sense. And then he
If I'm
just
being,
keeps walking. He just keeps walking.
Yeah.
if
So
I'm being
kind of
100, that's the only
uh-huh.
thing I didn't like. It just felt random to me. Like, oh, that's my dad. Like, I don't know if I missed it
I
or
did think
something.
it was interesting. He was
I
the only
didn't
one he
like
told him good luck to.
it.
When
I don't
they
know.
were getting their
I didn't
dog
like it.
tags,
Hmm.
he said, "Good luck to you, son." He didn't. I mean, when he said "son," though, it was just
Son, yeah.
sounded like "good luck to you." But he was the
Yeah.
only one that he said "good luck to."
I like that. I liked it. It
Yeah.
adds another layer to the story. Although it may seem random, if you do go back to that recall,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good thing that they. I like it. I like the idea of it.
yeah, I do too.
So
Because no, go ahead.
no, I just thought it was hilarious whenever they finally got close to the end. They just started saying F the major.
Oh
I
yeah.
was
He's like,
scared.
I
I
like
was
that.
so scared.
That lets me know you got some gumption.
I'd have been like, guys, stop. We're gonna get in trouble. Like,
He liked it. He was cool. He was
Like
cool
the
with it.
major was all about that takes real sack. You have
Right.
heavy sack. I'm like, why are we talking about the sack?
Yeah, he
What
kept talking about heavy
Well,
fractures.
you gotta
He
be
said it like 3 times.
you gotta let you know
speaking of sack, one of them is your son out there. Okay.
let you know you're a man. You're a real man.
Right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I wouldn't have did it. Like, y'all know I'm scared of everything. I'd have been like, oh, he's gonna kill us after, like, for saying that shit.
But like I told you, RJ, the group chat, boots on the ground, soldier. Same thing in this movie.
I do like the way that it ended. A lot of the times we talk about Black characters often, sacrificing themselves for other characters while also speaking life into them. I think if it had have ended that way, where he had have died, I wouldn't have liked the movie.
Yeah, that would have ruined it.
I like
That
how
would
they
have bad
did
taste
it.
in my mouth. Only because of what Desiree said. Black people always have to be sacrificial in these kind of situations. Like I was watching See No Evil the other day with Kane, because I'm a horror
Oh, I
aficionado.
love See No Evil.
And I
Yeah.
was watching See No Evil, and I wasn't scared or nothing like that. And the black guy, sacrificed his life for like the white girl and like the Spanish girl, and I'm like,
What have they done for you though? Like,
yeah, like I'd be so tired of seeing that shit,
tired.
man. Like,
Yeah.
You see, that's why I feel like especially in this time too. I feel like that motivation behind that type of character for a Black person in that role is done, because
Yeah.
you're what you're doing now is that like it's a like Gerald mentions the word trope. Well, that's kind of that same thing. Like you're just doing this over and over again. So I'm glad that he did survive. Yeah, and he's a Black character because again,
now, if it was earned, that's one thing. But to do it just off of nothing is like, it's irritating. It's one thing if like the Black character would have done something, amazing. Or the white guy would have done something amazing for a Black character, and it was like, well, yeah, you saved me, da da da, or it had to be earned. But when he got down on one knee, I'm not gonna front. I audibly groaned.
I got pissed. I was like, you better not.
Listen, I was hot.
I was about to walk out.
Get your ass up.
What are you doing? Stop it.
I didn't expect Garrity to do that either, but I was surprised. So.
And that's the beautiful part about it. I appreciated his sacrifice, because throughout this whole film, he, what's his face? I'm sorry, David. His character. He spent so much life into everyone. What did he get in return?
Yeah.
It's time. It's high time. We're in a different time now. Yeah. Even our political climate, where Black folks just ain't doing things anymore, really for every other community, when we're not getting it back.
Yeah.
So I think that this was very important in the social setting that we're in. And Homeboy paid it forward by getting revenge in the end for his friend. I think it ended perfectly.
Yes.
On film, I'm sure it did. However, I will give a counterpoint. I think that they just didn't show him get gunned down, and in his mind, he did keep walking. I'm pretty sure that they put him down shortly after that. Because if you listen to what the major said he's not gonna shoot me. Basically, like, y'all chill out, but y'all basically know what to do if anything do. I watched him walk away, but in my brain, he's walking away to the gates of heaven. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Realistic.
Man went up yonder.
Look, if you asked me what my wish was, okay?
That upper room was calling. No, see, he asked for the gun, for the carbine.
I mean,
he didn't say, "Let me kill this dude."
He did.
So when he made it a point to let him go ahead and get it, and then he also threw out like, "Son, like, okay, if you do this, you're giving away all the the riches and all that stuff." So that kind of in my brain, I say, okay,
oh, it's a wrap. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because that was his warning. Like, hey, pull that trigger. Like, it's a wrap.
So yeah, sure, we'll leave you with the imagery of him walking away, but he was walking to the upper room.
Yeah,
so, right. Which I don't know. In my mind, I felt like that one person, one or two, the major and the person holding the gun, were the only ones that truly heard the request instead of the crowd. So in my mind, I mean, I guess he could have possibly gotten away with it. This is the fantasy part of it, of course. Okay. Realistically, maybe not.
Yeah, only because if it goes back to the way the book ends, Garrity does go away. Now, they actually, so funny enough, this other little tidbit, he ends up getting picked up like for being like an enemy of the state in a sense, like because he had different ideals. So he didn't even get to like go off into the sunset in real life, like in the book. So that's another thing. Like he won, but he really didn't because he still wouldn't conform to what the government was wanting to do. So
But
Right.
you know what too? I also feel like him even asking for that gun and him giving it to him. I feel like someone who's in charge of a country and that's like a dictator or whatever, like the lack of survival instincts in that situation is
That was
weird to
cool.
me. You
Yeah.
know, I that's why I feel like he either way he didn't survive. I feel like when he asked for that gun, they probably shot his ass because they knew what he was up to at that point.
maybe, but yeah, he definitely walked to the pearly gates after that because
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Let me
And he
ask
got
you
introduced to a lot of actors in this film that we had never seen before, which I appreciate. So
yeah,
hopefully Hollywood will take more chances on unknown or, no name
and
actors.
diverse cast. Like
Diverse.
we
golly,
got to see like just
yeah,
about every single race.
that
See, there's
native,
more parts than others, but we got to see everybody.
yeah,
Yeah.
that native guy, he was so awesome to me.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Kali.
Yes,
Yes,
I
Yeah.
want to know what he was singing at the
Me
end.
he
too.
was. That was probably. I'm sure that
That
was
part
had to do
pretty
with
cool.
whatever tribe
Yeah. It
whatever
was
tribe
beautiful.
he's with. He
Yeah,
was probably singing a native tune to his tribe.
Yeah, it was
But that was
beautiful.
that touched
heartbreaking
my
when that
heart.
happened, though.
That was,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he could have lived too, but again, it's just sometimes it's the people. I think that Des mentioned the psychology of it. Sometimes, like towards the end, people just either give out or they just see a different path for them, and he chose that. Like he chose to watch
100%,
die, and
100%.
yeah,
Yeah.
and blast him in the stomach, and then he just got shot by the other people. So I mean, people, you just never know what people are thinking on that long journey like that, especially. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what too? One death that kind of like made me roll my eyes was the dumbass that ran towards that glass pharmacy door or whatever.
oh yeah,
Like, first of all, you didn't even know it was
He
unlocked.
went off the
Like,
path. He was just, yeah, he was done.
stupid.
Mentally, he was broken. He was
He was
broken.
It had
broken.
to be.
Yeah, that was an example of I love how they show different things. Like it may seem stupid to us, but the mind is just you never
Yeah.
know what you're gonna do in a
Yeah,
certain situation.
because by the time they got to that point, I think that was in like day 2 or 3 somewhere in there. So
Yeah.
he was done.
yeah.
He
He
was
wasn't
gone.
thinking. Yeah.
His brain saw civilization. That's what
Yeah.
it
And then that dude got ran over by a tank. Ooh,
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
yikes.
Whew.
that was
He was
brutal.
like, "Help me!" They was
right.
like, "We
Put
gonna
him
help
out
you,
of
all
his
I
right?"
was like, what the hell I'm
misery.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
But
That
he was
was
crying, talking about his cramps, and they was like, "Well, you don't have legs now. You can't have cramps."
yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, it wasn't like funny, but it was crazy funny how they would still warn them even though they were incapacitated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
like, that is
Yeah.
diabolical
That's
to
cold.
be
That's
counting me down,
cold.
bro. You like, I ain't got no legs. What am I gonna do now?
I think that's the
Exactly.
dark part about it because no matter what situation, they don't care.
They stuck
Yeah.
with the rule. Well,
Yeah.
they stuck with the rule or the letter of the law, and was
Yep.
like, "This is your second warning. Like, do I look like I need another warning?
Like
Oh,
just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't go
just
anywhere."
do it, please.
Right.
And that's the thing. It shows that like that type of humanity, the way that their minds are constructed, they go by the book strictly, nothing else, because they leave your feelings out of it no matter what. That's
It's a
scary.
different world, you
That's
know.
what made it eerie too. Yeah.
Yeah. Goodness.
I think this movie did a good job from because as someone like this is why, and I'm sure Dr. J could attest to this too. This is why I enjoy dystopia films. They're really high up on my list, of course, after my favorite genre horror. Dystopian films for me do a lot because it allows you to see things through a lens of the breakdown of society. And I think just the way humans interact in a situation to where like there are like no quote unquote rules per se. I feel like this movie does a good job of like showing like humanity on both ends of the spectrum to where like they know they're about to shoot this person in the head and it's terrible and it's wrong, but at the end of the day they're going to be cold and do it. But then on the other end of the spectrum you have people that are encouraging people to live in a situation where if you live I die, you know. And so like both showing humanity from both ends of those spectrum to me is just is amazing.
And it wasn't like they did it every single time, but you could feel their pain every time somebody did die.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Which was weird because it was like they would always make sure to almost show that frame where
Mhm.
somebody's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like every time I hear this,
Yeah.
it's like causing me more trauma every
It
time. Because I
triggers
ain't gonna lie, when they hit that hill it turned into a war scene.
Oh
I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, yo, like they start mowing people down. It it,
Mhm.
it sounded and I know this is a bad term, but like a gang war. It started
Yeah.
Yeah,
pop pop pop
yeah,
like a war zone for real. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like 4 people left in a minute because
Well, one last thing, I did hear that Stephen King said when they came to him and said they wanted to do this film, he said basically, don't touch this film if you're, or don't make it into a film. Don't bother if we're not going to show the actual deaths. This is a real, I
mm,
want people to be moved by this. We're not
yeah,
going to basically Disney ourselves around the deaths. I
yeah.
want to see them get,
which
shot.
which I
That
which I
first
feel
death,
like
yeah,
if you make it 15 minutes longer, I think you make it that much more of a better movie. I think because
yeah,
I think an additional 15 minutes allows you to add a little bit more of what the book entailed,
Hmm.
and you also get those emotional beats to really, really, really be driven home. Because I don't really feel like the emotional beats for me were driven
yeah,
home until we got to the third act. Yes, there were some things that happened throughout, but I didn't really start feeling it. Like I said, can't confirm or deny when I was wiping my eyes. However, once once the decisions started being made, like guys start taking their own life in their own hands,
Yeah.
I was done. I was like in that mug, like, okay, we need to go ahead and roll credits because
Yeah.
man.
yeah. That just
So
shows how good of a job they did building this up, to a nice slow burn. And towards the end, we were all emotionally connected. And that's when they started falling apart and falling off. That's
right.
that's when the audience started falling off and falling apart. So
Yeah.
overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It's probably easily one of my top 5 movies of the year. I definitely would go see it again, especially now that I've marinated and I, kind of have things that I find a little bit more enjoyable, and a little more just kind of like, tug on your heartstrings. So for me, I give this movie a solid 8.
Um,
Okay. Don't let my rating scare you to the fact that I love the movie. I'm still gonna stay with 7.5.
okay.
Just like I said, I felt like it should have been maybe a little bit longer to actually grip a hold a little bit more, but that's just my thought.
Okay.
I'm going to give it an 8.7. I think it was really a very
Oh,
detailed movie. I think that it was very intriguing in
Hmm.
many different ways of how they captured us through just these sequences, but it was just this long like frame. Because I like movies that have this long transition of not cutting, and they
Yeah.
actually just show the acting because you're just more
Yeah.
zoned in. So that's what I really liked about this movie as well. But overall, it was just so good. I feel like it was heartfelt, and it really was driven. It did make us feel something in the
Yeah.
end.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, 9 out of 10. Easily one of my top favorites. Loved it. Wonderful performances.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are our thoughts on The Long Walk 2025. Drop a comment down below and let us know if this is one of your top 5 movies. And let us know also how long would you last if you yourself had to compete in The Long Walk. Would
Read the
that
book.
don't read no damn book. Wait for the
Okay.
movies. No, read the book.
Read the book.
Read the book. Support art, all that stuff. Support creators, all that. Yeah, but feel free to make sure you follow the cast. All of our social medias are down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Later days. We'll see you next time.
All right, RJ, we got some